working and you have already started collecting Social Security before your full retirement age, stop what you are doing and stay with me, because there is a rule quietly reaching into your benefit every single month and pulling money right back out of it. And most of the people it hits never find out until the deposit comes up short or stops landing in the account at all. It is called the earnings test, and it is one of the oldest and most misunderstood rules in the entire Social Security system. In plain English, if you earn more than a certain amount from a job while you are collecting your benefits early, Social Security starts holding your checks back. And I do not mean a small trim. I mean it can withhold your entire payment month after month until a number in a government computer is satisfied. I have sat with people who lost almost a full year of their Social Security to this rule and had absolutely no idea why their money simply stopped coming. Now here is what I need you to hold on to from the very first minute, because it is the good news buried inside the bad news. There is an exact dollar line that triggers this, and I am going to give you the precise number for this year. There is a brand new bill moving through Congress right now that would erase this rule completely, and I will tell you exactly what it is and where it actually stands, not the headline version. And most important of all, there are real legal ways to stop this rule from gutting your check, including one fact that almost everyone gets completely wrong, which is whether that withheld money is gone forever. It is not. Stay with me, because by the end of this you are going to know the number that triggers it, the kinds of income that are completely safe from it, and the specific moves that stop it. I'm Walter Barron. I'm a state bar licensed estate attorney with over 15 years of experience working with families on home, trust, and IRA planning. And for all of those years, I have sat across the table from people untangling exactly these kinds of rules, the ones the government writes in language nobody is supposed to understand. I read the fine print on these so you do not have to, and I am going to walk you through this one the way I would walk my own parents through it, slowly, in plain English, with the exact action at the end. And before you decide this one is not about you, stay with me whether you are 62, 65, or 66, and only a few months away from your full retirement age, because this rule touches every one of those ages a little differently, and the version that applies to you is the one you most need to hear. If you are already past your full retirement age, do not click away either, because I am going to show you the precise moment this rule lets go of you completely, and there is a real chance you are already free of it and do not even know it. And if you love someone who is still punching a clock in their 60s while drawing their Social Security, this is the video to send them, because there is a very good chance no one has ever explained this to them. Do me one quick favor before we dig in, because it genuinely helps this reach more people who need it. Hit that like button, and if you want the rest of these breakdowns, subscribe. It costs you nothing, and it is the only way the folks who need this ever see it. Let me tell you why this matters so much right now, because this is not some dusty rule that only affects a handful of people. More Americans are working past 62 than at any time in modern history. Some because they want to, some because they have to. And this one rule is quietly shaping the biggest money decisions all of them are making. I have watched people walk away from a job they actually enjoyed because they were terrified it would cost them their Social Security. I have watched people turn down good part-time work for the exact same reason. I have watched people start their benefits at precisely the wrong moment, purely out of confusion about how this works. And every one of those decisions can quietly cost tens of thousands of dollars over a retirement. The rule itself is not even the most expensive part. The misunderstanding of the rule is what does the real damage, and that is what I am going to clear up for you today. So here is exactly where we are going. First, I am going to show you where this rule even came from, because once you understand why it exists, the whole thing finally makes sense. Then I will give you the exact numbers that trigger it in 2026, the real dollar figures. Then I will walk you through a real example so you can actually watch it take a bite, because the numbers do not land until you see them happen to a person. Then I am going to clear up the single biggest misunderstanding about this rule, the one that costs people the most. Then I will tell you about the new bill that could wipe the whole thing out. And finally, and this is the part I most want you to stay for, I am going to give you the specific legal moves that stop this rule from taking your check. Let us start at the beginning. To understand this rule, you have to go all the way back to 1935, to the Great Depression. That is when Social Security was created, and you have to remember the world it was born into. Unemployment was crushing. There were not enough jobs to go around, and the entire idea behind Social Security at the time was to provide income to older Americans so they would leave the workforce and free up those scarce jobs for the younger workers who were desperate for them. And so, right from the very beginning, they wrote in this earnings test. The logic was blunt. If you are still out there working and earning a paycheck, then you do not need your retirement benefit yet, so we are going to hold it back. It was, in a very real sense, a rule designed to pay you to stop working. That was 1935. Think about how completely different the world is now. For decades, that rule just sat there, punishing people for the supposed crime of still being useful. And then, by the year 2000, Congress finally admitted the obvious, that the earnings test was discouraging older Americans from working at exactly the moment we most wanted to keep their experience around. So they changed it, but only halfway. They eliminated the earnings test for anyone who had reached full retirement age. And here is a detail I love, because it tells you everything about where we are today. The law they passed in 2000 to do that was itself called the Senior Citizens Freedom to Work Act. Hold that name in your mind because you are about to hear it again in a minute, and it is no accident. So ever since the year 2000, once you reach your full retirement age, you can work and earn as much as you want, $1 million if you can manage it, and still collect every single dollar of your Social Security with no reduction at all. That part is settled, and it is not changing. But the penalty never went away for everyone else. For every person who claims their benefits early and keeps working, the earnings test is alive and well, and it is reaching into their checks right now, this year. And that is exactly who this video is for. So let us get to the actual numbers, because this is where it gets real. Here's how the earnings test works under the 2026 rules. If you are under your full retirement age for the entire year, you are allowed to earn up to $24,480 from working without any penalty at all. That is your line. But for every dollar you earn above that line, Social Security withholds $1 of your benefits for every $2 you go over. $1 held back for every $2 earned over the limit. That adds up frighteningly fast, and I am going to show you in a moment just how fast. Now there is a second, more forgiving line for one special year. In the calendar year that you actually reach your full retirement age, the limit jumps way up. In 2026, you can earn up to $65,160 in the months before you hit full retirement age, and above that, the withholding is gentler. Instead of holding back $1 for every 2, they only hold back $1 for every 3 you earn over the line. And then, the very month you reach full retirement age, the earnings test is completely gone. From that moment forward, there is no limit whatsoever. You can earn anything, and your Social Security is untouchable. So those are the 3 zones. Under full retirement age all year, the tight limit. The year you reach it, a much higher limit and a softer penalty. And after it, no limit at all, forever. But now I have to stop and tell you the single most important thing in this entire video. The part that all by itself frees a huge number of people from worrying about this rule at all. And it is this. The earnings test only counts money you earn from working. Only wages from a job or the net profit from your own business if you are self-employed. That is it. It does not count your pension. It does not count the money you pull out of your IRA or your 401k. It does not count interest. It does not count dividends. It does not count capital gains from selling stocks or a property. It does not count rental income. It does not count annuity payments. And it does not count your VA benefits. None of that touches the earnings test. Let me make that concrete because it matters enormously. You could pull $50,000 out of your retirement account this year, and it would not cost you a single penny of your Social Security under this rule, because that is not earned income. The test is only looking at what you bring in by actually working. So if your income in retirement comes from your savings and your investments and your pension, rather than from a paycheck, this rule may never touch you at all. Just understanding that one distinction takes the fear away for a great many people watching right now. All right.